and welcome back to another thrilling episode of Off the Dome. I'm your humble interviewer, Jordan Brown, and with me for the very first time is our glamorous Gwendolyn. Say hi, glamorous Gwendolyn.
Hello.
Carolyn, thank you so much for joining me. This is so exciting. We're in the midst of the Bitcherton Kickstarter, which is chugging along, I think just shy of 15, just shy of the halfway mark as of today when we are recording this. We were discussing beforehand that neither of us have any idea how Kickstarters function. So, like, I don't know if that's good or bad or exactly normal or whatever it is.
I think it's good. I think we're on track to meet or fulfill our goal, and then we can bring the world Season 1 of Bitcherton.
Oh, it's so good. We'll hop in. Look, normally I like to start with like a very silly thing, and normally I end with like, where can we find you on social media? I'm going to combine those two things because I don't know what Jacuzzi Tubs is, and I would love for an explanation of it.
Well, it's a good story. I like the story of how Jacuzzi Tubs came to be. Which is my social media handle for everyone listening. Jacuzzi Tubs with 2 B's. So it all starts in the magical land of Riverside, California. I was at a hotel and I was in the jacuzzi, in the hot tub where I love to be. And there was a button that said push in case of jacuzzi emergency. And I lost it. I thought that was so funny because a jacuzzi emergency is like either a drowning emergency or like someone's hit their head or something. But a jacuzzi emergency sounds like, oh, there's too many bubbles or something. So I thought jacuzzi emergency was very funny. So that was my handle originally. And then someone pointed out that they thought that sounded like someone had shit themselves in the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be associated with that. So I changed it to Jacuzzi Tubs, and 1 B was taken. So I went with 2 B's, and it gets a laugh every time I say it.
It's very good. I am absolutely delighted by it every time I see it, and with absolutely no context. It's like, now I know. It's like Anna Garcia is Scramby Eggs, and I'm like, there's got to be a story behind it. And now she's in a movie with like Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum, and it's like at Scramby Eggs too. Anyway, another very silly question. How much do you hate Marjorie Taylor Greene for having the initials MTG and confusing you every time you see someone because you think they're talking about Magic the Gathering?
Oh my God, so much. And then worse because she's from Colorado and that's my home state. And she's just besmirched.
Wait, no. Marjorie Taylor Greene is from Georgia. Lauren Boebert is your Colorado terrorist.
Oh, sorry. I'm ignorant. Yeah. I'm ignorant. They're both bad.
They're both bad. Lauren Boebert gave the hand job at Beetlejuice, though, so that's a...
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. Oh, my God.
That's a special kind of something.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is like the reverse of Brennan, like BLM, Black Lives Matter, and she's like MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're just couldn't be more different.
Yes. You want to hear a very fun, probably not, thing? I don't know if you've ever seen this. People on the internet, anytime someone will call Brennan BLM, someone inevitably will respond. Brennan has asked people for him not to be called BLM and to use Bleem, BLEEM. And Brennan has never asked anyone that. Brennan has never said that before.
To call him Bleem?
Yeah.
Certainly never said it to me.
Yeah. It's just a thing that the internet believes.
That's so funny. Of all the Brennan conspiracy theories, that's a funny one.
Yeah. Bleem. I have a Patreon, and I always ask the patrons if they have any questions for people beforehand. And someone, first of all, they wanted to know about Drawfee. Will we get more Drawfee on Dropout? That kind of thing. But they wanted me first to tell you, and they clarified, no matter when you're talking to Carolyn, tell her hair is great.
Thank you. It's kind of been that's so sweet. I feel like it's a little bit of a Playmobil. You know those Playmobil toys? You can just kind of pop
I
their
have a
hair out.
3-year-old. Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. You don't blame me. Yeah, I feel kind of like one of those, but I'm trying to find a new barber, so we'll see if I bring back the fade.
Yeah.
So funny. That's great. Thank you to whoever said that.
Yeah. And thoughts on Drawfee on Dropout or more
Ooh,
Drawfee content?
that is interesting. I think Drawfee, and I'm 100% sure that there will be cross pollination, and like you will see Dropout people on Drawfee and Drawfee people on Dropout in the future.
Yeah.
Hondo P.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Beyond that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to see return of Drawfee Variety Hour, but that's my
It would be
personal
delightful.
opinion.
I would also like to see a return of, and now I have to look at my notes because my brain doesn't work right. Table Pop, because I want to see
Oh.
you in the dumbest costumes that have ever existed.
Oh my god, I love that show so much. I just did Eli's podcast last week, and like I would bring that show back in a heartbeat. I would absolutely love to. But the hard part is with doing it on Dropout is the IP stuff. Like
Yeah.
you'd have to really work that out. I don't know how they got away with it with IAC when College Humor's owned by IAC, but you know, maybe.
I mean, IAC was just like, we'll deal with it if it comes up.
Yeah,
And
they're
now,
like Barry Diller's lawyers. We'll figure it out.
yeah. Now it's just Sam Reich calling his dad to be like, hey.
Yeah. Like, hey, what do you think about this? No, I'm sure they have good lawyers to drop out. I don't know. They haven't sued me yet, so that's good.
Hey, that's a win. Speaking of, I was going to try to make like a real greasy transition. I don't have one. Bingo, though. What an episode. Truly so incredible. At any point were you worried that you were also a bingo room, that there was another layer? Or did you feel confident that you're like, this has to stop here because we're not doing anything?
No, the whole time we were asking, is there another room? Like, are we being watched? And even though they said you're not, we were like, I think Ryan Creamer wrote that premise and was on set that day, and he's like, I promise you there's no more. He's like, it would be too convoluted. Yeah. But we never were totally sure that we weren't being watched.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm still not.
Yeah. This is all the Sam. I'm gonna pull my face off, and it's Sam, and it's Game Changer.
We did a little game day yesterday with some of the Dropout folks, and Sam, like in the email, he literally has to say like, when it's just a social thing, he's like, I promise this is not Game Changer. He's like has poisoned his friendships a little bit suspiciously.
Yeah, I've gotten to talk to Vic quite a bit, and like they've talked about how like they fully thought VIP was a Game Changer, like prank, like it's showing up to set.
When Vic gets that Emmy, they're gonna be Sam's gonna like be in the little statue, pull off the mask. Say,
I think that's size correct, Sam, in an Emmy statue. One of the things that I love about Trap Go. Is that you one of the things your squares was him giving his social security number out to a PA. How did you see that happening? I
didn't think that was gonna happen.
Okay.
Trump is a very, very smart man, and no.
Yeah,
but I just have to steal his social security number somehow.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. You did get the incredible moment of him mentioning Actually by having him do promo for the Actually board game. One of my favorite moments of the episode.
Thank you.
Like, he's so mad, and it was so good.
I know. The actor who was playing the PA was so like, oh my god, what a horrible job. But she was so great. And then that scary Actually board game is like, it had been lurking in the green room for, since it came out basically. Mm-hmm. And it's such a truly terrifying picture of Trap on that. He looks like, I don't know what they did to his face, but he looks like that old timey like Coney Island guy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just
Yeah,
so
it's
smooth.
in a closet. I almost had it for like the interview just so I could hold it up, and I was like, that seems
It's
too
so
much.
cute.
But yeah,
Yeah, you
um,
should keep it away from your 3-year-old because children should not see Trap's face like
that's
that.
yeah.
It's corrupted Trap.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, God, the bingo was such a fun episode. I loved so much about it. Like, I got to talk to Reika really recently, and we talked about like Reika on the Apple box. Such another incredible moment, where she just stood on an Apple box for like 20 minutes of an episode.
I
And
think it was the contestants were very well chosen because those three specifically, like Lily, Trap, and Rika, like they'll be very focused and are very competitive in that way. So
mhm.
I think they immune to the bullshit because they were so focused on it. Oh,
Yeah, and Reka also was like, I follow the rules. So if a PA says get on an Apple box, I'm gonna get on an Apple box. Like, I know
yes,
what production is like. I must be at a weird angle for this camera in the corner.
yes,
um,
definitely,
so good.
definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like Trap and Lily would like buck back a little bit more, but are still rule followers in their way. It's very interesting. Hmm.
It
Now I'm
made
thinking about
for
like all their what I know about their families and like
yeah.
their histories. I'm like, wow, really produced some good little soldiers.
Yeah. It made for who knows, Emmy-worthy TV potentially.
Oh,
Like
I fucking hope so. Come
it's,
on,
I mean,
let's
they're
go.
they're going. Look, the Colleen is out there in the trenches, just like variety, indie, like you name it. Like they're talking to him. Like,
It's so cool.
yeah,
I hope everyone from my high school sees it.
so that they think you're cool. Yeah,
Exactly. It's about time they thought I was cool.
yeah. I mean, you are very cool. So
Thank you.
like,
All the Magic the Gathering cards in my closet agree with you.
yeah. Hey, well, I thought you were gonna say disagree with me, but yes, no, because Magic the Gathering is cool now. If he plays Magic the Gathering, so it's cool. Like.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I
Yeah,
got
it
to
is.
be. This is now just me name dropping, which is a real like commonplace thing that happens in this episode. So just these interviews to the point where people complain in the comments. And if you're here for that, I'm sorry. Like, look,
No, you love it. It's all
yeah,
the Dropout fam. We love it.
yeah. So I got to moderate the PAX East panel for actually, and so like I was hanging out with Iffy and BDG and one of Iffy's friends Ira before the panel, and Iffy bought. I'm gonna say $1,000 worth of Magic the Gathering cards,
Awesome.
just like he had played the night before and was like, now I need my own Commander's deck to play, and like
Awesome.
as BDG said to me about it, it was like, I've never seen someone be so willingly upsold. But like the guy behind the counter was just like, well, what about a playmat? And if he's like, yep. And just like, it just kept going. He's like, you have one commander's deck, but what about a second commander's deck? And it was just, and it's like, he has this massive bag of Magic the Gathering cards. It was so delightful to watch. And now he has like a Magic the Gathering show or something that's starting. I don't know. If he has
Yeah,
an
yeah.
infinite number of podcasts, I think that's how
He
many
truly
podcasts he has.
does.
Yeah.
He's like a bag of holding of podcasts. You can
Yeah.
just keep fitting more podcasts in there.
Well, speaking of Iffy, Gwendolyn Bitcherton, because Iffy obviously our delightful vicar in Bitcherton. Just I love a horny vicar. That's very good.
So good.
But Gwendolyn, our coming out isn't the right word, but because that implies something else. But
I think it was called your like something like coming out your debut into
debut,
society.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Our debutante debut
Yeah.
coming out into society. I know you are like the coiner of Bitcherton. Like you said the word, and Brian Flaherty was like, "Now that has to be a podcast."
Oh, I did. I don't remember that. I do remember fighting Brian a little bit on the name. I was like, "Is there any other name we can have?" But Bitcherton is a good name. Oh, and I also wanted to make it about dogs. Like everyone be Regency, but all of us be dog people, like
Mhm.
anthropomorphic dogs. But Brian wisely
said
nixed
hat
that.
said hat on a hat on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, yeah. Two hats. What's better than two hats?
How did you come to Gwendolyn, the Regency era? What I know you played in the Good Time Society game with Many-Sided Media, my first dungeon.
Yeah.
So, like, what drew you into this story? Feel free to take a drink before you answer.
Ooh, my mug, my Dune mug, which also says I'm not a nerd. Would a nerd have an Arrakis mug? No.
Definitely. Hey, Dune's cool now too.
That's
Look,
right.
I have an Ida Eggfort statue just out of reach.
Oh my
That
God, look at that.
it's very
That's
beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah, someone sent this to me. The internet is crazy.
That's incredible. Someone made that. That's
Well, I mean,
not from the.
Dropout sells it, but yes.
Oh, so they made it. Okay,
Yes,
cool, cool,
but
cool.
here is
That's
something
sweet.
someone did make, and it is a pillow of Takoyama as Tommy
No.
Shrigley. It says, "Come on, everybody, can I get a little clap?" at the bottom of it, and that also
Oh
came
my
to me.
God.
So
That's wonderful. I gotta
yeah,
get all of those. I gotta get all of those.
yeah. They
That's so funny.
just tell people your PO box, and they're gonna send you the weirdest shit imaginable.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Jacuzzi Tubs PO box. Okay, so
I think I asked about Bitcherton. I don't know. I don't
yeah,
really remember at this
Richardson.
point.
It's a freeform. It's a freeform discussion.
Yeah.
Um, yes. So playing Good Society was so much fun. And that type of story, like as big a nerd I am, I'm also like a romantic sucker for like, old timey shit. So I had loved Pride and Prejudice and like Jane Austen stuff, but I like the movies. I think the lushness of the movies and the shows and stuff is really great. And then we just had so much fun. It was like, oh, this is so ripe for a ongoing story, like a longer story that you can really get invested in. And like my favorite podcasts, like Worlds Beyond Number, which I'm sure many of your audience listens to, is definitely my favorite podcast. And that's like nothing's like getting invested in a big ongoing story. So we wanted to do something like that, but like comedy focused and in this world, which is I'm sure maybe I'm repeating myself a bit for other people who've come on the show, but it's like the Jane Austen community and this Regency era community is probably underserved for like big lush stories. There's clearly an appetite with Bridgerton and stuff. So, and we loved it too. So they say make the stuff you want to see. So we did. And then I just like the idea of like my go-to character is like an old crazy person, like an old, like psycho a little bit. And so I wanted to do something like that I hadn't done a lot. And so I'm just going to be the ingenue and then occasionally some maids and other stuff.
Look, there are no bad decisions. I think like Cassie makes a great I guess old psycho is not the right word, but like patience has has some problems.
Humors.
Yes.
Cassie's so good at this.
So everyone is so good. One of my favorite parts is Katie just not even attempting an accent. It made me laugh so hard.
I know. I love it. Because also now in World, we can have that be like the Bath accent.
Yeah.
But I like that like people are variously like committed. Katie.
Yeah, Alex kind of like meanders in and out. You and Cassie are hard in on it. But yeah,
it's hard for me to not talk in a British accent like normally. So when I can let it out, it's really good.
Yeah.
I'm from Colorado, so don't know why that is. Just fancy on the inside.
Yeah, and the outside. Come on, an Arrakis mug. That's posh society right there. Yeah, I think I even mentioned this to Katie when I listened to the pilot episode, and she was like, "I'm from Bath." I was like, "Is there a different Bath? Do I not know about the Bath in America?" And I Googled it, and I was like, "Nope, just the one. Got it." But yeah, really, really tickled me. That scene, like three of my favorite scenes from the pilot. Katie in a ditch. I just like.
Yes.
Melted my brain so funny. The reading of the will by Alex and just like how upset they were at like how awful it was, and how much Cassie was on board. It was like, no, that's true. Women are bad. And then, just like I'll get the butt from carrying the dead body, like fully broke me. So thank you for that.
Thank you for listening. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy people are liking it. Like the friends and stuff that we've sent this to. And even like I don't always go back and listen to the stuff that I make, but this one I did and I was like I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's super fun. And like I said, I talked to Brian, like the $30,000 for the Kickstarter isn't just so you can, go buy some cool jacuzzi tubs. It's so that they can pay you like SAG rates, which is a very cool thing to do.
Yeah, it's like to make a show, it's a ton of work, like all that editing and sound design and then, organizing schedules and getting everyone together. And then it would be great. Contribute towards our SAG pensions.
Yeah. Health insurance. Oh, a dream. Look.
Oh, nothing's fancier than health insurance.
Nothing. Boy, wouldn't it be cool if you didn't have to make a podcast to get health insurance? But any moments that like jump out at you, having gone back and re-listened, that like, oh man, this was really, really great, so really funny.
I think literally the first moment of the podcast with Cassie screaming, I was like dying. I thought it was so funny. A scene that I really love is the scene between Katie and Brian and Iffy where they're walking back on the road and just like Katie is truly devastatingly funny and Brian and Iffy playing off her like that, and it's such a good dynamic, so I really love that scene. And then I think Alex's just general dynamic with Brian's character where he's in love with her and she's so dismissive is so good. Those are some highlights. And then I really like being the maid Mary and just running fast. I don't know. Maybe she'll become my main character and Gwendolyn will fall by the wayside.
Gwendolyn will fall by the wayside. It's Mary and kind of Miss Big Withers. Miss Big Withers? Did I get the name right?
Lady Big Withers.
Lady Big Withers. My apologies.
Oh, you did right. Lady Big Withers.
Also,
I'm part of the landed gentry, Big Withers.
A really fantastic choice, I think, to reveal Lady Big Withers' true identity at the end of the pilot. So that then for the rest of the season, we can all be like, oh no, someone just told a secret in front of the vicar. This is no good.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that. Like, should we reveal it? Even who should it be? I love that choice to have it be the vicar, because I was thinking like that's literally the perfect person. Like, I guess they're not Catholics, so they maybe wouldn't do confession.
Can't be Catholic because he has a son, but
can't be Catholic because he has a son, and also Church of England. But do they?
Yeah,
still
that's
do
probably a
confession?
thing, right? I think they pretty famously don't like Catholics.
Right, famously. But I think that's the perfect person to be like a gossip columnist, because everyone in the town's coming to confess their secrets and their sins. Write a little juicy column about it.
Yeah. There's Marie Laveau, is that her name, from New Orleans? My wife's gonna be so mad at me. She pretended to be a psychic. Or like a voodoo priestess, because she was a hairdresser and people would gossip at the hair salon, and then she would use that gossip to pretend like she knew secrets about people.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And apparently very effectively at it. Like, that's
so wild. I just feel like, how can you keep all that straight in your mind? Like, that's a skill. And then, like, being, dishonest with people, that's also a skill. Yeah. I'm not good at either of them. I'm not really great at either. Also, I got to write everything down, and I'm not good at lying. Yeah. Or am I good at lying? We'll never know. I write down notes that kind of look like this, and then... Oh, nice. Yeah.
And it's literally one of the notes on here is MTG arrow MTG, and it's like I'll know what that means when I get to
You
it.
got it. You did, and you
Yeah, uh,
did.
yeah. People also get mad when I show my notebook on camera because it's not a lined notebook.
Oh yeah, that is wild.
Yeah, it's
I'm trying to find some crazy looking notes that I have.
the thing that's nice
No.
about my crazy notebook is it allows for very free-form notes of just like, oh, here's an idea, and then I can like arrow down to something, and I don't have to abide by lines. I can just write wherever. I'm like, oh, this is going to go vertical in the margin for no reason.
Freeform.
Yeah.
Are you dedicated like to this brand of notebook? Have you always used online notebooks?
No, this was a notebook that I got for a D&D game. Probably not surprising based on how it looks.
That is very fancy.
Yeah, and then the campaign ended, not in a bad way. Like we finished, we went 1-20, and like ended the game, and I was like, well, I don't really have like it was like half of the notebook. As like I was like, well, what do I do with the other half of this notebook? I don't want to like start a new campaign in here because what if it goes longer and like I run out of pages? Then like I've got half a campaign notebook. Like that's weird. And I was like, oh, well, I'm doing this weird little interview thing. And so now I have 8 months worth of interview notes in here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
My
amazing.
life's weird
Beautiful
now.
interview notes. Leather bound interview notes.
Yeah, it's very nice. With the little red what's it called? Bookmarky thing.
Yes. I love a silken bookmark. This is my friend started an Etsy store with designs selling notebooks. So this is my notebook currently.
Iconically fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But I have to have a pocket in my notebook for scraps and papers. And then I gotta have spiral. And it's got for me, it's gotta be college rule. Don't come at me with this wide rule stuff.
Yeah. Look, if I was taking real notes, then I would 100% agree with you. Like I need pockets, I need college ruled, I need spirals. But for the nonsense that I do, I'm just like a thing.
I'm trying to get away. More and more, I find myself like getting away from physical notebooks at all and just doing notes on my phone or computer because I like to have it in the cloud.
Yeah.
Can't carry a big notebook around all the time.
Can't. The only problem is then I would be just constantly doing this in interviews, and that would just be bad. If I was constantly looking at my phone, it'd be like
at a wedding
when yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm checking on my Farmville.
Yeah, I did literally. I had to look at my phone during this interview because my brain short-circuited. Because as I said, I can't remember things, and I was like, "Shit, is Carolyn on Thousand Airs?" I'm like so confident that I remember seeing her in promos, and you are. And I had to very quickly find the email from Colleen in like the Thousand Airs trailer is out. I'm like, great, where's the cast list on here? So how was Thousand Airs? Look at this transition, totally natural and not forced at all.
Good one. Like a greased up pig sliding around in the mud. So smooth.
Can I tell you the thing we did this weekend? We took my 3-year-old to the Central Texas Pig Rescue, where they have unhomed pigs, whatever you call them, and it was a watermelon smash. So we went into the pens with 20-ish pigs, and everybody would just smash watermelons on the ground, and the pig was come over and eat all the watermelon. It was super fun.
Were they cute or were they scary? Because sometimes pigs can be really big and scary.
Everyone that we fed was cute. There were some 700-pound used to be farm animal pigs that are apparently very gentle and sweet, are very large. We did not go in with them, but it was all like potbelly pigs, or that level of pig. Very sweat, very fun.
I've heard pigs are kind of hard to work with sometimes. My brother works at an animal surgery center in Fort Collins, Colorado, and he says that the pigs are they're so smart and he's they don't want to go under an anesthesia. He's they don't want that because they're so smart, but they're not smart enough to understand this is gonna help fix my leg or whatever.
Yeah.
So pigs, scary and delicious.
I think I asked you about Thousandaires, and then I got
Oh
distracted
yes.
by my
No,
own
okay.
story.
And then, oh my God, you messed up the smooth
I
transition because
know
we said it was too smooth.
it's too smooth. We can't have that on the show.
So funny. Um, Thousand Airs was, and I say this completely genuinely, the most fun I've ever had filming anything with Dropout. It was so fun. I hope the show runs. I hope they do more seasons. I hope it does super well. I can't wait for everyone to see my episode because it was so fun. And I have more ideas for what I would do
Ooh,
next
I love
time
it.
if they do it
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
Well, I guess if they do a second season, they'll have to do 2,000 airs,
yeah.
right?
Sure.
Give
You
us
gotta
$2,000.
gotta up the stakes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, who cares? I feel like the reception has been both the Thousandaires and a Smarty Pants, like the two new shows that we've had, have been like just
Yeah.
wildly positive. Uh,
Yeah.
so it feels like it has to, even though like Thousandaires is obviously a pretty expensive show to produce, because every episode is the cost of production and $5,000.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. But no, because the $5,000 is like the production. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Because they're having that anyways. I guess it's maybe a I don't know. I don't know what their show budget. It's got to be more expensive than like, you know, actually,
right.
right? That's probably one of the lower cost
Yeah,
shows. Welcome to
and
Dropout Finance Talk. It's a new segment
where we
of the show.
theorize on things we don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me call David.
yeah.
Let me call Kearns. We'll see. We'll see what he has to say. Um.
I can't wait for Thousandaires. Who else is on your couch in Thousandaires?
Oh. Can I announce it? I can
Yeah,
probably say it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of all the couches, so I can put up
Oh,
a
okay.
picture. So
Yeah. Right.
I'll
Right.
spoil it if before you can. I'll do that. How about that?
So our host was Ryan Creamer.
Mhm.
Great, lovely, lovely Ryan Creamer. Love him. He was one of my first friends that I made when I started working at Dorkly in New York, and then he moved out here. And it was Trap, very fun, always, Grant, and Raph. So I was like,
Ooh.
immediately, I was like, boys' night, let's go. And I all throughout the episode, I was saying boys' night, and I'm not sure that it caught on, but I did commit to the bit.
Yeah, as you
It
need
was,
to do. Yeah.
as you gotta do. But it was so fun. Everyone's ideas were really different, and like the first idea that I pitched to Jess Ross, the showrunner, was basically like, let me make a short film.
Mhm.
And she was immediately like, that costs more than $1,000. I was like, oh, you're right. I can't just ask my friends to do this for free if like I'm getting paid.
Yeah. Although it appears to be what Vic did by producing a musical with like, original songs and other things.
That's true.
I
That's
think
true.
Jess screwed you over, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. In season 2, I'm coming back and we're doing a full length 90-minute feature
for $1,000.
for $1,000.
Perfect. Well, I guess as we established, $2,000 because the budget will have doubled by then. I mean, look,
Right. Exactly.
they're not giving out real prizes on Game Changer anymore, so like you you can spend the money somewhere else. You were there back in the Secret Santa days. What were the? How were those episodes to shoot?
I still have my air fryer.
Yeah, amazing.
I love it.
Yeah,
I loved getting presents. I've gone to a Michelin star restaurant because of that show. I don't know. You kind of always want the cash, though, I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the greatest gift of all is money.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Obviously, Teo's strategy. I don't know if you've seen the most recent episode of Thousandaires where he bought the money box and then won his own $436 that were left over from the money box, which is so funny to me. To just be like,
amazing.
I'm just going to steal $400 from Dropout, basically, because I bought something and then wore a jacket specifically with in mind of like, I'm going to tuck more money in here. Just like,
what a genius.
Iconic behavior.
Genius moves.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing. No, I haven't watched the episode, but I have seen the promos, but maybe I'll do that after this. Have a little dropout day.
Yeah, it's delightful. There are only 2 episodes so far, so
Yeah.
third one drops this week. Also, a mystery show coming out this week. Do you know anything about it? The gayest party of all time?
No.
Okay. Are you just a good liar? Who's to say?
Maybe.
Only I talked to Paul Robolino, and he was like, we have a show that we haven't told anyone that's coming out this summer, and that's the only information that I have about it. So until this week when they were like, a new trailer on Friday, I was like, that must be the show.
This is it.
Yeah.
Ooh, exciting. I'll have to look out for it.
Yeah.
I'm currently rewatching Fantasy High. I'm halfway through season 2. Great show.
So good.
So good.
Can we talk about Worlds Beyond Number? Because they won't sit down with an interview for me. Not that they've said no. It just turns out they're 4 of the busiest people in the world.
They're extremely busy. Yeah.
So gathering them all together for an hour for a nonsense show is difficult. It's so good.
It's so good. I was just saying this to somebody. I can't remember who. I was saying to somebody that it's Brennan Unleashed, because he's so great, obviously, in Dimension 20, but there is always comedy is always the focus there, because Dropout is a comedy platform, and it's you've got a group of comedians, and so having him be able to really unfurl his fantasy freak flag with 3 other people who also are super on board with that. I just love the focus of the podcast. Incredible storytelling. It's so good. I'm crying every episode. I'm laughing every episode. I would die for the Fox, obviously.
Obviously, a given.
Even when I try to save up episodes to listen to, I just can't. I'm just it's out. I have to, what if I die before I get to listen to this? I would be so sad. So it keeps me going.
Oh, there you go. Are you a Fireside person? Are you listening to Soupgate? Or are you
no, I'm not.
Episodes? Oh, the talkbacks are as unhinged as the show is focused. Apparently, Brennan drank miso soup on the first day of recording their most recent camp out of a cardboard container, and then scooped the final bits with his fingers. And Lou called him out on the podcast, not to his face. And Brennan, I believe, described it as sweating the hardest he's ever sweat, because someone was like, "Hey, why are you weird?"
Wow, that is truly wild behavior. But I mean, you got to get that little tofu and the seaweed at the bottom.
Yeah, you do.
You can't let it go to waste.
Utensils do exist.
That's true.
I think was the point people were trying to make on the show. Erica tried to have his back.
Now you're gonna get your food all over your hands. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. This has been so wildly off the rails. We should talk more about Bitcherton, right? The thing that we're theoretically here to promote.
Let's do it.
Right. One of the things that I really love, like I said, obviously Katie's accent, but I love getting to even hear that there are bits that have been cut just for the sake of time. And that one of those was apparently Katie's drawings, I guess, her character's drawings, obviously, which were all roughly looked the same, even though they were supposed to be different animals, because she had never seen any of the animals in question.
That's right.
That's so stupid and so funny.
I know. I imagine we'll have unreleased stuff that was edited for time on as part of the Kickstarter or Patreon eventually, maybe.
Yeah.
There's gold there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's gotta be. Do you have any bits that you can recall that you loved that were cut for time?
I think there was one, though I don't know if it was cut for time or propriety, but I do remember a bit that I had that didn't make it in. That was kind of it was kind of anachronistic? Is that the right word? Where it's out of time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just went full Allie Beardsley and like made it like present day thing.
Yeah. I think I was using some like slang or something. And then I remember this moment because it made Iffy laugh specifically. And then I was like, that's a win. And then, but I think I got cut. I can't even remember more details about
Fair. Oh man, this was immediately me going to be transitioning back out of it, but we're going to stay on Bitcherton rather than
Okay.
talk about actually.
Okay.
Obviously, like the one of the big drivers of the season going forward is going to be a bunch of incredible guest stars, some of whom have been announced, like Reika, and I don't remember who else has been announced, so I'm not going to say any other names because if I'm the one to break that instead of like the Kickstarter goals, I would feel bad.
That's true. I will.
Oh no,
comply with that.
Teo is also in that.
I was going to say Teo
yes,
is an announce for sure.
yes.
And then there's some other ones, but they're all great.
Yeah, everyone is great. I will say, and I think I've mentioned this before, that Brian read me the list off camera, and one of the names like broke my brain in like a positive way, and then I missed a bunch of names that he said. So I don't actually know all of them. And that name has not been released yet. That I'm sure of.
Oh,
But
yeah.
how excited are you for like really fantastic comic guest stars coming in and like getting to drive a plot line for an episode?
Oh my God, I can't wait. I think it's gonna really the rubber's gonna really hit the road when we start bringing in guests. If only to because we have incredibly funny people, and then just to flesh out like the world of this town, Wooton Bassett, which is a real place in England and Regency England. So we chose it because it sounded very fancy. But like getting to meet the other denizens of this town is I can't wait. And then like how I'm a big lore junkie. Like I love a really tight world building, which is part of the reason why I love Worlds Beyond Number and Dimension 20 and stuff like that. Is just building out the lore of the world is going to be so funny. Like we don't even know who these people are going to be necessarily, like what their characters are going to be. So if you want, I guess if your audience has any ideas for characters they'd like to see in the world, get at me at Jacuzzi Tubs.
At Jacuzzi Tubs.
On Threads or Insta or whatever.
Do you think Teo will do his pitch perfect mid-Atlantic accent?
No, I did not let Teo. No, I'm gonna sit him down and we're gonna like figure out some accent.
Fully broke me on that episode because I was like, what does he think the mid-Atlantic accent is supposed to be? And then I was so happy that you called him out on it because I was like, someone has to say something, right? Like my mind is being blown at how not an accent this is.
That's so funny. Oh, that also broke me. I love that moment.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna get him some vocal lessons. We're gonna do.
He can be from Bath. It's fine. He just doesn't. He doesn't need an accent.
From Bath. Yeah, maybe he'll be from Bath. Maybe he can be Katie's brother.
Yeah.
Who's poised to inherit the estate.
Scandalous.
If our secret's found out.
God, breaking news is such a delight. Obviously, you're one of the like major staples of breaking news. Is it just like the easiest paycheck? You just roll in, be goofy, and then like you're done.
I mean, I would say no. It is you do roll in and be goofy.
Yeah.
But like there is kind of a apprehension. So when I first moved to LA and joined Dropout coming from Dorkley in New York and then moved to LA for Dropout, my first day on set was breaking news, and it was and they put the dental thing in me and like held my teeth, and it was the one where Raph was like holding weights and shaking, and I was like, wow, I am in front of all my new coworkers, saliva like dripping out of my mouth, this is such a weird job. But I love breaking news, and I feel very happy that they've asked me to write a couple, like the hoedown one, the cowboy one I wrote, and then the baby news where they had baby pictures of Teo and Sam.
Yes.
And
all very. Oh, that was a real.
Yeah, I love those.
Those are really good, but both very excellent episodes. So,
Thank you.
yeah, I know you were there for, I think, the first Dropout America episode, one of the like all-time fan faves. Anytime you get to make fun of Sam, like instantly a fan favorite. But yeah, the baby episode also, God, just young pictures of Sam is so funny always.
I know. Little guy. I wonder where he's from. I wonder where that little boy grew up.
It's a mystery that no one will ever
never know.
Yeah, I say when I interviewed Sam, I made this huge spectacle. I was like, the first question I have for you is so important, and like I built up to it, and I could see the strain on his face, and then I asked him something entirely unrelated, and then people in the comments were like, "You should have asked him," and I was like, "You guys get that? Like, I'm not in on the joke, right? Like." Other people that work with him can make the joke, but we as like a fan base have to stop.
That's funny. He's a good sport, though.
Yes, very much so. Yeah. Let's say you dream guests for Bitcherton outside of obviously the dream guest lineup that you have. Do you have anyone? Do you want to bring in Keira Knightley? Who you like? Let's say this interview really pops off. Bitcherton clears $1 million on that Kickstarter. Who you bringing in for like the finale that you like make an actual TV show out of?
Chris Rock, Tilda Swinton, E40.
Flawless picks.
That's my top 3.
Yeah. I mean, I have no follow-ups. You don't need to explain it. You got it.
That's right. That's right. That's my 3 favorite. That's my pantheon.
Yeah. We have a new season of Make Some Noise starting this week. Are you in the new season? Can you confirm? Do you have to hide it? Is it secret?
I'm not on the new season of Make Some Noise, but next season, I'm sure they'll have me next season.
Yeah. We'll start a fan campaign. We'll send Sam Magic the Gathering cards in the mail to be like, hey, we need more Carolyn on things.
Start a fan campaign to get me on Dimension 20.
That's the real thing. Like
the real one.
Yeah. Why is Brennan not put you on? Is it he's too afraid of how good you are?
I think that's it. I think he's too afraid that, we played D&D before, and I think I'm just too powerful.
Yeah.
So don't be a coward, Brennan. Put me on Dimension 20. Put me in there, coach.
And there's the thing that I'll definitely clip from this interview. Brennan will see it when I tag him on Instagram and not reply. Look, no one has ever said I'm good at this or professional, but some people like it.
You're great. You're making art about art. We love it.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
It's just a lot of unhinged thoughts scrambled together on unlined notebooks. So what else? How could it not end up like this when there are no lines? So, all right, Bitcherton Kickstarter. I know there's some stretch goals that are lined up. Any that you're really hoping for, like what are you hoping for from the Bitcherton Kickstarter, other than obviously like making season 1 of Bitcherton? Let's assume that happens. What do you really want out of it?
I would really love like a full soundtrack, like on its own release, because our Behold who does the music is so wildly talented, and it's just like when I was prepping for this show and like doing research on the time period and everything, I was just listening to a lot of music from the time and a lot of Jane Austen's favorite composers, and it's just like it's so incredible to see that music kind of being remade by someone new. And so I hope we get a big fancy soundtrack release
Yeah.
from it. So everyone go to Bitcherton.com or Kickstarter and look up Bitcherton and donate, please.
Yeah.
Please, I'm begging you. Even if you don't vote this year, I'm just kidding. Also vote, but also go to the Kickstarter.
Number one priority, Bitcherton Kickstarter.
Bitcherton Kickstarter.
Number two, voting.
Saving democracy.
Look,
Those
when
are the two
democracy
priorities.
crumbles, at least we will have season 1 of Bitcherton to get us.
Honestly, maybe we'll go back to the monarchy.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go back. Just kidding. We're never going back.
Charles can come over. It'd be fine. I'm fine with it. Bring your weird red painting over, Charles. It'll be great.
Yeah, come on. Bring it over. I kind of like that painting.
I thought it was a weird choice because it looked like blood, but like if it wasn't the King of England, I think I would have liked it.
I don't think it looks like blood just because it's all red.
Yeah, I guess because it's the monarch, the crown specifically, but
I mean, yeah, that's a blood-soaked monarchy right there.
So I think that's where my head went. Not that it necessarily looks like blood. I was just like, a lot of red, Charles. Weird choice.
Yeah. He should have gone blue, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I was gonna I have no idea what his mother's portrait looks like. So I don't know if he was trying to distance himself. But
have I seen it on the crown? I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. This would not be more off the rails. Let's say Bitcherton obviously gets fully funded. We get our full soundtrack release.
Yep.
Democracy is saved, so other things can happen.
Love it.
How excited are you to just kick Worlds Beyond Numbers ass in like podcasting competition awards? Because
I think
you need the rivalry to like drive.
No,
numbers.
I think this is classic media tactics. Just like you're trying to pit Beyonce and Taylor Swift against each other. No. There's room. Rising tide lifts all ships, and narrative. What's good for one narrative podcast is good for the Gander narrative podcast. I just think it's such a cool. I'm really happy that we're making this show and that shows like World Beyond Number are doing so well, because I think it's like I'm a big podcast listener and it's such an accessible form of media making and storytelling that I hope it becomes more and more prevalent, because it's cool. It's like bringing back, an audio drama kind of thing. It's a new era, a new day.
A new day has dawned.
A new
Carolyn,
day has dawned.
Thank you so much. Obviously, we already mentioned it, but to remind folks, where can they find you on the internet to see Magic the Gathering, various other things, new haircuts? Where can they find you?
Yeah. Well, the best place to find me is twitch.tv/Jacuzzi Tubs with 2 B's. Jacuzzi Tubs has 2 B's in it. Yeah. So I stream on Twitch.
My
from
brain
3
did
to
just
5
go,
Pacific.
is there anything else? And I was like, Twitch doesn't have B's. TV does, but yeah. Jacuzzi Tubs with 2 B's.
Yeah. I stream Magic the Gathering and Baldur's Gate sometimes, and then once a month I do a Twitch Plays D&D stream where I DM for chat. It's very chaotic. It's very, very fun. And that's also set in the Magic the Gathering universe. So I do that, and Bitcherton, obviously. Yeah. That's where you can find me. And then on I started doing more on TikTok. I recently posted a video called The Goose Wave, which is a new dance that's sweeping the nation.
Wow, hold on. Let me get my TikTok out, because I don't think I saw that.
Do the goose wave. The goose wave. Honk, honk, and do the goose wave. The goose wave. It's amazing. Definitely sweeping the nation.
Yeah. I can't wait. I have your profile pulled up. I will watch it the moment this ends. Question about Magic. Did you read the Planeswalker novels? Not Ezra, Urza. That's his name? Planeswalker stuff?
Urza. I have not read the Planeswalker novels. Should I?
No.
Okay.
I was just wondering if I'm the only person on the planet who read them. I think I might be. I don't remember anything about them other than they really leaned into some the card, not like they needed to like make new card concepts make sense within the story, if that makes
Yeah.
like, so like
Yeah.
like the story couldn't ever end, because there was, I just had to like keep doing things, because like
Right.
had to like, they had to keep selling the cards, so they just keep making new cards for him, so his story just didn't end. Anyway, that's
They
it.
should not have pinned all the narrative on Urza, who's
Yeah.
now not part of the story. Like, was a little bit, but like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, what a way to end. Go back, Bridgerton. I don't know how to end an interview, so I'm just going to hit stop recording.
Okay.